Que vuelta. Okay, so I have a long one. I hope I can do my whole dissertation in the 18 minutes que me va a tomar getting to work. But anyway, I feel like this is gonna be so niche that most of you, you probably don't even understand. But I was having this argument with my mom on Sunday, and I figured I should give my dissertation here, because why not? This is what my channel is for. So this is about religion. So if you don't know about religion, don't comment. I mean, you're not gonna get it. And just some background information. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, which I know a lot of people have a lot of feelings about that. I don't care. I don't mind that I was raised that way. I'm actually pretty thankful because of where I'm at now. I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I don't have anything against Jehovah's Witnesses. As far as religions go, I would say that one's pretty decent. I don't fuck around with the Catholics, the Baptists, the other, religions. Anyway, so that's just some background, because I think it's important to understand that I have a very deep knowledge of the Bible. Ay, tu madre! Why do you do that? ¿Pero por qué? ¿Cuál es la necesidad de tú formar todo esto? Me cago en tu madre. Yes, I already broke. ¿Tú ves que yo no estoy moviéndome? Eso pasa porque las comepingas de este mundo. Anyway, I need to take the break thing off because it's gonna matarme. Anyway, ahora you're gonna drive like a bitch? No, Baba. No, not today. You need to go. Anyway, ya se me olvidó todo lo que estaba diciendo porque por poquito nos matamos para la pinga. Anyway, bueno, the whole point of me saying that I was raised Jehovah's Witness is because I have a pretty deep understanding of the Bible. I've read most of the Bible. The only part of the Bible I've not read is the 4 books about Jesus, like John, Paul, whatever, because they were just really boring, which I probably should get to them at some point. Anyway, this is just to preface that the arguments that I'm making are within a pretty deep understanding and context. I've spent most of my life having religious arguments with my mother, who has read the Bible probably 50 times by now. She is an extremely religiously educated woman. She's been her religion since she was 8 years old, and she's extremely educated in the Bible, which is crazy because of her being so knowledgeable, she allowed me to question things that I probably shouldn't have been questioning at a young age, I'm so mad at you. And she's probably one of the reasons why I guess I am the way I am. She kind of shot herself in the foot because of me. Because she allowed me to question so much, I started asking questions that I felt I just couldn't sit with. A lot of questions that maybe she was just like, oh yeah, okay. One of those questions being, and here's where we get to it. If God is all powerful, all knowing, all everything, if he created everything, he created Satan. And if he created Satan, then he set up the parameters for which we've been in misery since Adam and Eve. Because if you think about it, this whole issue of God allowed the suffering, but he didn't, he is not the reason for all bad in the world. But he is, though, because he created it. There would be no bad if bad was never created. And I think the problem that I have an issue with is, if you're not given the choice of picking between good or bad, then you're not giving free will. But if you're given the option of choosing between good and bad, but if you choose wrong, there's still ramifications. It's not really a choice. You're being duped into a false sense of free will, because you don't have free will, because there are consequences to the free will. Now, if you're saying I don't even know how else to make that clear. So let's all, pretend that we accept the notion of like God created everything. He created the angels. He created one of the angels. Hacer, échate pa'lante, que tú estás esperando, coño. He created one of the angels that would later become Satan. And Satan became Satan because he had jealousy. He was probably angry. He was evil. But those feelings, they didn't just like exist. Like I think it's hard for people to understand because it's really difficult to understand non-existence as humans. Like we have a hard time understanding death and like just non-exist. Like I don't think most people understand that. Like, so if we align ourselves with the belief that God created everything, he created all feelings. Like feelings did not exist prior to being created. Like there was no jealousy. He had to create jealousy. So then if he created all these positive and negative feelings, and the angel that would later become Satan decided to have these feelings, like, hacer, ya yo estoy harta de toda esta gente manejando como le sale de la pinga. No. Anyway, if there was no reason, I guess my whole thing is, this was all, what it felt like was a science experiment. Like, hey, I'm going to create these people and give them these rules and then see if they like abide by them. And if not, we're just going to like have them be in misery for however many thousands of years. Because like, you can't tell me that, oh yeah, he sent his son for us to be cleared of all our sins. ¿Pa qué? ¿Pa qué he sent him? He sent him because he made us sinners in the first place. Okay, si tú no sabes mantenerte en una senda, yo no sé qué hacer por ti. Anyway, my thesis is that if God created everything, he created the world, he created all of the angels, he inadvertently, and see, that's the problem. Whatever term that you use, as if like he made an oopsie, like how the F am I going to give my loyalty to a God who made an oopsie? Like, you understand? Because if we say like, oh, the word that my mom was okay with using is like se descarriló, su plan se descarriló, and it's like in Spanish it's like it just got out of his hands, and it's like, I'm sorry, I would accept if my plan got out of my hands, like if I chewed bit more of than I could chew. Pero tú eres Dios, tú creaste todo, like you literally made this. How are you gonna let it get out of hand? We cannot, I cannot in good conscience align myself with a God who can't keep things under control, and I think like beyond the fact of like whether God is real or not, like, I mean, I was raised that way, so like there's part of me that is agnostic. Like I don't know. If he were to come down here and be like, oh yeah, mira que hola, I'm here, I exist, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, we have so much to talk about because what you did is not okay, and like I don't think that we hold him accountable just because, like, here's the thing, and my mom says I'm a very ungrateful person, but like I'm not thankful for existing, in the sense of like I did not have a choice in this. So like the same thing, like Adam and Eve, if we're talking about, what the Bible, the story in the Bible, like they did not say like, oh yes, we want to exist. Like they were just plopped on there and been like, hey, here. And like people want to say like, oh no, the gift of life he gave. No, because they put him to fucking suffer for no sé cuántos cientos de años. Like I don't think people understand, because I think everyone glosses over the fact, and they're just like, everyone's just so quick to be like, I'm so thankful I'm alive. Why are you thankful you're alive? Like, oh, I'm so thankful I'm breathing. Like, oh, I'm so glad I exist. ¿Pa qué? Like, what are you doing with your life that you're so thankful for? Like, how do you know tomorrow you're not gonna suffer in a horrible accident? Like, tú sabes, like, I don't think people understand that, like, just because we treat this, like, the gift of life as such a gift, no, motherfucker, we've been suffering for thousands of years. We've gone through slavery, genocide, like, there are children being molested probably across the street. Like, the fuck you talking about? Let's be thankful for this life. No. And then that's the problem that religion did. It made us have, like, it made us to, like, be thankful for, like, oh, you could be worse. The fuck? What do you mean I could be worse? So I think, like, overall, I've always had an issue with this. I've always had an issue with, like, why didn't he just destroy Satan and his little party? Like, why? Pero por qué la gente se mueve when it's not green? You see, it's red. This motherfucker is, like, inching forward, but the light is red. It makes me so mad. But anyway, that's always bothered me, because it's like, you could have saved. First of all, you could have saved El Mundo, like, thousands of years of misery. That's the first one, if you care so much about your creation. Y segunda, como que you could have saved Jesus from having to go be, you know, arrastrado por la cruz. I mean, I don't believe in la cruz, but that's usually how you people, but I feel like it was more like this rather than like this. But whatever, you know what I mean. Entonces, like, you could have saved him all the trouble. Like, you could have just been like, oh, you chose to be evil, well, now we gotta kill you. Like the fact that my mom, the way she explains it, is like, no, because he had to prove that the world cannot guide itself and that it needs God. No, it only needs God because he made it that way. Like, he could have made it so that we didn't need God. I like that's my frustration, is that at the very base of this argument is that everything was created that way. That he made it that way. He made it so that we needed him, or he made it so that we had to suffer. He made it so that, say, that angel would have those emotions. Like if you're telling me he is all powerful, he is, like, this is all his fault. Y como yo, en buena conciencia, I'm going to then be like, oh no, but you're still all, you know, all powerful, all knowing. I'm gonna bow to you. No, I can't do that, because I feel for all the people who are suffering, and unnecessarily. I feel for all the millions and millions of people who have suffered throughout all of history, because some dude was like, no, I need to make sure that everyone knows, todo mundo, todos ustedes knows that I am God. You could have just done the memo. You could have just done un poquito de ráfaga, like a little bit of lightning, wrote it in the sky, like, hey, I am God. Like, I would have had more respect. But the fact that you somehow needed to prove that because we've done such a shitty job at taking care of ourselves, like, we didn't, though. This is how we were set up. Like, this is what we were given. I don't know if any of that makes sense. I don't think enough people know enough about the Bible. I have not had good luck in meeting people who have enough depth of the Bible to even understand the argument. And no, this is not me, like, hating. I don't care about what you believe. You can believe whatever the fuck. You believe in one God. You can believe in 10 gods. You cannot believe in it. I don't really care. Porque at the end of the day, like, all I think is that you're gonna die. Like, at some point in your life, you're gonna die, and then that's it. And I think everyone's gonna die. Like, I'm not necessarily hating. I'm just kind of explaining my viewpoint. See if anyone's ever had this thought too. So yeah, I'm almost there, but now I got caught in a freaking train. So now we're just chilling. Pero bueno, that's the end of my dissertation of why I can't believe in God or follow a religion or anything like that. If you've ever had a similar thought, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm crazy, you'll probably let me know in the comments, so I don't even have to tell you to do so. If you're gonna comment on my nose ring, you know who you are. I look forward to seeing all of those messages too. So bye.